Hi, this is Chef Avoir Chaud. Today I'm going to show you how to make pastry noodles. These pastry noodles are rectangular shaped and kind of thick, and these are usually dropped into different soups or stews. In my case, they're going to be used for chicken and pastry. So I'll show you how to make these noodles with ease. Also, in case you guys didn't see in the last video, the KitchenAid winner is Cat Jacinto. Congratulations. I do have some more contests coming up soon. My next one is win a free handmade Afghan. Stay tuned to my videos and I will keep you guys updated. So come on, let's go ahead and start this recipe. Okay, so here I have just the basic ingredients you'll need to make the dumpling noodles. Here in this bowl I got 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and to it I'm going to add just a teaspoon of regular salt. You can use kosher salt too. Combine the two simply by mixing it together. You can use bread flour for this. If you use bread flour, just make sure you handle the dough less. You can also use self-rising flour. Keep in mind when you use self-rising flour, this is not going to be as thin as it would with regular all-purpose flour in it. So I have here just a cup of water that I'm going to add to this. This is just regular room temperature water. And if I need more water, I'm going to slowly add the water. The point is to create a dough that is somewhat sticky, but still able to be handled. So now that I have mixed it with the wooden spoon, I'm just going to take the rest of the dough and just manipulate it by hand. And that was just 1 cup of water right there to this 2.5 cups of flour. So this is where I want it to be right here. I'm just going to knead it slightly just to make it smooth. We don't want to build up too much of the gluten in it. I'm going to lightly sprinkle my surface here with all-purpose flour. I'm just going to knead the dough until it becomes smooth, just for about 2 to 3 minutes. If this will be your first time handling dough, just give it a couple of tries. I guarantee you'll get it on your 3rd try, but hopefully you'll get it on your 1st try by following this video. Okay, so the dough is becoming less sticky, but it's still sort of sticky. So I'm going to add a little bit more flour. This is about a tablespoon that I'm sprinkling down. So I'm going to knead this for about a minute. So now it's been close to 2 minutes. And as you see, the dough is becoming a lot smoother. We just want the dough to become slightly smoother and just a little shine to it. You probably won't be able to see that on camera. So now it's starting to come as smooth as I want it to be. You want it to be about this texture. So what I'm going to do is just take the dough, gather all of it to the bottom and pinch it. I'm going to place it here on the surface that we worked on, but there's no flour on that portion. And I'm going to just cover this with plastic wrap, or you can use a kitchen towel or even a lid or whatever you have on hand. This is just to keep the draft away. I'm going to let this sit for 10 minutes. Allowing this to sit for 10 minutes, you can even let this sit as long as 15 minutes. Just allows the dough to relax, and it will make it easier for you to roll it out when you're using the rolling pin. So we'll be back in like 15 minutes. So it's been 15 minutes. Just going to peel back the plastic. I also have a pizza cutter too. And rip the dough in half. And I'm going to take plastic wrap. Just going to cover the other half of the dough with the plastic wrap here. I'm going to simply just take the dough. I'm going to pat it out by hand first. Sprinkle just a little flour on the surface here. And just a little on top. I'm going to take a rolling pin. There's no need for measurements, just roll this out as big as you can get it. The dough may move a little bit, that's okay. I'm just going to sweep off the excess flour here. Start in the middle of the dough with your dough rolling pin and just roll it the opposite direction. Okay. Turn the dough. Start off in the middle. If it starts to stick to your rolling pin a little bit like it is here, just sprinkle a little flour on top. I'm just going to roll this out as thin as I can get it. So I'm going to finish rolling this out and I'll be right back. So now I'm going to just take a generous amount of flour and then I'm going to sprinkle the top. I'm going to rub it on. I'm going to flip the dough. Do the same thing. Just with a generous amount of flour here. Now, this doesn't have to be cut perfect. I'm going to try to keep it similar size here. The reason why I sprinkled so much flour on this also is because I'm going to be lining this up on a sheet pan. So I'm just going to start from the bottom here where it's, and just cut across. This is going to create our perfect cut. Now I have here a sheet pan that I have dusted with flour generously. Also, I'm going to show you a close-up so you can see how thin this is. This is a thin, perfect in texture. So I'm going to place all this on my half sheet pan here, lay a piece of plastic on top, dust the plastic with flour, and I'm going to cut out the remaining pastry noodles the same way and line and place them on top of the plastic. Okay, so I did all my noodles, my pastry noodles here, and I just want to show you how I just lined that up on this on foil. You can use plastic wrap foil or wax paper, and see this is not sticking. So that's the importance of making sure you just thoroughly flour your pastry noodles while you're cutting and after cutting. So now this is it of the recipe. I'll show you how to cook them. These will take about 20 to 30 minutes to cook because, like I said, these are slightly thick. This is not an egg noodle also. Egg noodles tend to cook a lot quicker, and there's no egg in this. This is just flour, salt, and water, so this does take a little bit longer. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cook the pastry noodles here. I have my broth and stuff here in the pot. And you just simply take your pastry noodles, throw them in. I usually just throw them in one at a time, that way I know they're not sticking together as they are going in. And the importance of flouring the dough helps. So I'll be back after I add all this to my broth. So I got all my pastry noodles added here. As you can see, they look pretty good. So this is at high. This is on a high flame. And I'm just going to let this cook for about 20 minutes or until they're nice and tender. These will take a little bit longer because, you know, of course we made these in advance. They did sit and dry a little bit on the sheet pan with the flour, and that's what we want. We want it to kind of dry a little bit so that way they're not sticking to anything. It's easy for us to transfer it into our broth. And just give this one last stir just to make sure nothing is sticking together, and as you see, it's not. I'm going to let this cook for about 20 minutes. I'm going to adjust the flame to about medium-high flame soon. So it's been about 10 minutes. This is on medium-high. You do want to stir this really good, just to make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of your pot. And as you see, nothing here is sticking. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to let this go for, I'm going to taste one of the noodles now, just to see where we're at. Sometimes they cook a little bit quicker, depending on how long you have them sitting on the pan to dry. This is really good. It needs about 5 more minutes and it'll be ready. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. So I did let them cook for an additional 5 minutes, and I stirred them and turned the heat off, and they're ready. So I'm going to give this a taste test. I'm just going to taste a small piece. Absolutely delicious. The noodles are very tender. Have a lot of flavor from the broth that I made for the chicken and pastry. So now you know how to make homemade pastry noodles, which you can use just about for any of your dishes. I hope you guys try this recipe and enjoy it. Please do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember to live and be well. Do all you can to stop all bullying and abuse. Thanks for watching.